What are you expecting the market to do just by way of trends this week? We've seen in recent weeks, despite low volumes, it's really been a lot of interest in the commercials that have accounted for over 60% of trade.
For the week, the focus is going to be on the financial sector again, where we'll be having Barclays Bank and NIC releasing their end-of-year results for 2010. So going forward, we expect most of the focus to be on it. We saw Barclays Bank picking up today. It went up, I think, 5% from previous days trading.
All right, what we do know is that in general, the banks, as you're suggesting, are expected to do well. Across the board, they've recorded profits or expected to record improvements in the region of 40%. When you have to do a dissection of which are the banks to look out for, which are the banks to buy, which would it be? Because some of the blue chip counters have become quite expensive.
Lerato, I've always been bullish about National Bank and Equity Bank. Equity Bank is an investor's gem. I mean, it's trading at 27. It has an upside of around 31, 32. We expect improved earnings, and therefore we expect improved dividends also. Look at National Bank. National Bank has one of the lowest Ps in the banking sector. The CEO has been on record as saying that in this year he's going to give us a dividend for the first time in quite a long while. It's also, I mean, it's also come out of the woods. As we go further on, we'll see that it is going to make a lot more profits.
Talk to us about what's happening in other areas. For instance, Safaricom, as obviously the largest capitalized stock, is a driver of the market, but there are concerns going forward, yes, with rising competition from other non-listed entities, with issues around revenues concerning the tariffs that have been slashed, and now even talk of about a 50% tax deduction by the government.
For Safaricom, needless to say, they've had a rather tipsy-turvy 2010. So I don't know. I'm also eagerly waiting for the results so that we could be able to see what exactly was the impact on both their top line and costs. But then again, it looks to me it ends up looking like a speculator's share. I mean, it's at 430, 470 that level, but at 430, 425, I would buy.
Okay, great stuff. Talk to us about KQ, because it's a counter that has attracted some interest in recent days. We do know visitor numbers are up in Kenya, but because of rising competition, revenues generally haven't been really up. And now there's a security threat that might impact on the Tanzania route.
KQ, generally, they've been on record as looking for more finance to be able to improve their fleet. Also, again, for KQ, the managing director has a rather tough task. He has to manage things that are basically out of his control, like the Middle East crisis, the current wrangling, the current political wrangling. I mean, when you look at all that, they affect arrivals. I mean, they affect arrivals numbers, and therefore they also affect KQ's earnings. I mean, the price of oil really. It's a tough task being in his shoes.
Talk to us about the brewers. Obviously, last week, news dominated by the release of first half earnings for East African Breweries Limited. We know that they've had challenges in Tanzania, but generally people have been quite bullish about the stock because of the opening up of new markets, for instance, in South Sudan. In Nigeria, we're seeing consolidation within this sector. We're seeing acquisitions from major players and just a general sense of a refurb and a reinvigoration of the sector. What's the case in East Africa?
The brewery sector in East Africa, we are seeing EABL, the major player. They are saying they are going on to move strong into the Great Lakes region. The Rwanda, the Burundi. Kenya, it looks like the alcohol bill really didn't affect it as much as we thought it would. If we look on into other markets, we have the Southern Sudan market, where it is going on strongly, and their strategy also seems to be working on well, because they are looking at first starting with depots, then after that they look into the possibility of putting up an own plant. They've been able to manage their costs, though the administrative costs were a bit on the upper end. But going forward, I'm also bullish about it. I expect good things to come out of it.
All right, you wanted to make a comment on Car and General, which has been doing fairly well.
Today, 18%. They fell down 18% today. mainly on the back of the shares trading ex-dividend. That was the only concern. But then again, as we go forward, we expect it to stabilize at the 50s to 55 level. So from there onwards, it could really make some. There could be room for capital gains for an investor checking in the next couple of weeks.
All right, despite the mixed picture we're seeing on the equities front, we are seeing a bit more momentum when it comes to the fixed income market. Bonds worth about 16 trillion shillings have been traded in recent weeks, and the particular interest or focus on the 30-year government savings and development bond, which is set to really sort of change the complexion of how bonds are traded, the yields that we're likely to see. The bid closure this week, your views?
The bid closure, remember the auction is tomorrow. Really, I'm looking at 15 to 20. 15, 17 there, that is the range that I'm looking at. Also, yeah, and you're right, it's bound to change the way bonds are being traded, because for the first time we're actually seeing the Kenyan retailers really interested. The bonds market in Kenya is a market dominated by the big players, that is the institutional players, the banks and the government parastatals. But this time round, they've lowered the minimum threshold for bonds. The Central Bank of Kenya has come out fighting. It has really educated the people. So we expect a lot of retail participation. And then again, since it's a benchmark bond, we expect to see it holding up the yields at a certain level.